There's been very limited innovation in the treatment of that chronic disease over the last number of decades. And so what we're seeking to do here is to develop an innovative treatment or medicine to treat that chronic disease and ultimately to provide hope for the individuals, families, and communities whose lives are destroyed by this disease.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Solvonis Therapeutics CEO Anthony Tennyson. Anthony, good to speak with you. You've announced positive bridging data for SVN-002. What exactly has the company reported today?
Good to talk to you, Stephen. What we reported today is positive progress in advancing our SVN-002 program forward towards our ultimate goal, which is a phase 2b program or a phase 2b clinical trial for moderate to severe alcohol use disorder in the US. What we're looking to do here is we're looking to repurpose J&J's already proven esketamine intranasal treatment for depression. We're seeking to repurpose that into a treatment for moderate to severe alcohol use disorder for the very large alcohol use disorder treatment market in the US. We previously met with the FDA and discussed this approach with them. They advised that they were supportive of us doing something called 505(b)(2)ing into J&J Spravato. So that is a capital efficient way whereby we can repurpose an already approved medicine and point it at a new indication. Very importantly, the FDA said that they were supportive of this approach once we established the scientific bridge, and also that no further human data would be required once that bridge was successfully established before proceeding into phase 2b. So with that context and that background, what we've reported today is that we've completed the first part of establishing that bridge into that already approved medicine, where we assessed the pharmacokinetics of esketamine delivered sublingually and buccally, so sublingually and buccally in the cheek against intranasal. And we've established that esketamine delivered sublingually and buccally delivers the same exposure as esketamine delivered intranasally. And that's also the same for its major metabolites of noresketamine and hydroxynoresketamine. So whilst these results are preclinical and not clinical, it is very positive for us as it enables us to progress and, I believe, accelerate the program.
Anthony, why are these PK data important for Solvonis' SVN-002 program?
It's important for us because for the FDA to approve for us to 505(b)(2) or to cross-reference into someone else's already approved package, they need to know and understand that the exposure levels of the active pharmaceutical ingredient, so in this case esketamine and its major metabolites, that it's the same for safety reasons before we're able to move into efficacy studies. And so what we've established is that the peak exposure to esketamine and its metabolites and the total exposure, so Cmax and area AUC, area under the curve for esketamine and its major metabolites are within range, within an acceptable range to when delivered sublingually and buccally as compared to when delivered intranasally. And so what that means for us is that we will be able to go back to the FDA and seek a very refined toxicology package or scope for a toxicology package, which is highly encouraging, and we believe it will accelerate the program and reduce timelines for further progress.
What's the opportunity for Solvonis and SVN-002?
Yeah, that's a great question, and thanks for asking it, Stephen. So we believe the opportunity here is material. J&J are using Spravato, so that's the intranasal esketamine, for the treatment of treatment-resistant depression. The alcohol use disorder treatment market in the US is up to between 4 and 5 times as large, or larger, I should say, than the treatment-resistant depression treatment market. It's a disease that affects, we estimate, about moderate to severe alcohol use disorder affects, we estimate, about 15 million American adults. There's been very limited innovation in the treatment of that chronic disease over the last number of decades. And so what we're seeking to do here is to develop an innovative treatment or medicine to treat that chronic disease and ultimately to provide hope for the individuals, families, and communities whose lives are destroyed by this disease. So what this does is this enables us, we believe, to accelerate our program forward, to continue with our set strategy of very cautious capital expenditure and being efficient with our capital, which we can do by pursuing a 505(b)(2) pathway. So all in all, this is positive for us, both from a progress basis, but also from a capital efficiency basis, because we'll be able to hopefully cross-reference into an already approved medicines preclinical package. We've in-licensed a phase 1 program, and now hopefully in due course, subject to successful completion of a narrow toxicology package, we could be able to be in a position to apply for approval to move straight into phase 2B.
What's next for SVN-002, Anthony?
So the next steps for us are to take this positive PK data and to approach the FDA and to seek their guidance and feedback on the scope of our the next stage is the toxicology package. We believe that this data enables us to request a narrow toxicology package, and then once we receive that feedback and hopefully successfully completing that toxicology work, we would then submit an IND to the FDA, within which we would be seeking approval for a planned phase 2B trial for moderate to severe alcohol use disorder for the US market.
Anthony, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
We sure will. Thank you for your time, Stephen. It's been a pleasure.
Anthony Tennyson, the CEO of Solvonis Therapeutics.